For most people, when they hear the words survey and study, their eyes start to glaze over. And not this one. A survey by the Harvard Medical School found that not only are teens having sex at an earlier age, but they are also shockingly uninformed about condoms, birth control, and other methods of safe sex. I want to bring in Jessica Devereaux. She's got much more in a survey and a story that every parent should see.
Well, Rich, Harvard asked 141 teenagers if they had a sex talk with their parents before they had sex for the first time. 40% said no. That means that almost half of teenagers don't learn about safe sex before having it. Instead, teens seem to be spreading information about sex through their cell phones. It's called sexting, and it includes setting provocative messages and even pictures of their genitals. 15% of teens admitted to doing this. And right now we are joined by therapist Sheri Perlman, who is an adolescent therapist. And Sheri, are you shocked by these figures?
I'm not shocked at all. Teenagers' jobs are to separate and individuate from their parents. So to speak to their parents about sex feels very uncomfortable, very regressive. So they speak to their peers, and they learn from the media, and they learn from the internet, and they're having sex earlier and earlier.
What kind of things are you hearing behind closed doors when they talk to you?
Oral sex at parties, multiple partners without a relationship. Those teenagers who do have relationships are asking me if they have anal sex, is that considered, will they still be considered a virgin? Do they need to wear condoms for anal sex? Does oral sex feel good, and is it okay for them to want to do that?
Wait. Just so I'm clear, what ages are we talking about?
We're talking about from 13 up.
13. These children have sex lives.
These children have active sex lives, and they know much more than we as parents would ever imagine.
So what can parents do to combat this growing trend?
What parents can do is start to speak to their children frankly, openly, truthfully, very early on, very prepubescent. It's not okay to just have the talk. They need to keep talking so that they can create an atmosphere where teenagers feel comfortable coming to them to talk. And if they don't come to parents to talk, parents need to open these discussions. And if they're not comfortable, then they need to get comfortable, whether they need to go and speak to a therapist to get comfortable, or send their teenagers, if they're concerned, to somebody else to speak to. They need to get comfortable, and they need to teach their children respect for their own bodies, respect for other people's bodies, and to stress the relationship, that adolescence is a time where the mind expands, and so it's an opportunity to really get to know other kids.
What age is appropriate to start talking about sex? Is it when they first ask about it? Someone's pregnant, mommy, where do babies come from? What is the right time?
The right time is when you see the opportunity, take it. So if you see your child very, very young touching themselves, you can talk about it. That feels good.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to do that. So, when they ask where babies come from, be honest, because they're going to find out. And if they find out that you were lying or evading, they're not going to feel that you as a parent or somebody that they can come to for real answers.
Okay. So it's best to just talk about it when it comes up, but obviously age-appropriate details.
Age-appropriate details. And certainly as pre-adolescents and adolescents, it's okay to let them know that fantasy is fine, masturbation is fine. Acting on it, they can wait. They can wait, and they need to respect their partner. And if they're really not going to wait, then it's okay for them to come to you and talk about birth control and talk about safe sex.
So it's best to be open and honest, and to truly just talk about sex with your children before they find out about it through the media, peers, and so on and so forth.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Sheri, for joining us. And we want you at home to send your thoughts. When and how should we teach our kids about sex? We'll read your responses tomorrow night right here on RFL. Rich?
Thank you, Jessica. Now, coming up